Cancer. Cancer caused by viruses often goes unrecognized. Oncogenes. Oncogenes are a portion of a genome, when activated by cancer-causing alterations in DNA, causes malignant tumors. Oncogenes can be activated by mutagens, high-energy radiation, and viruses. Activated oncogenes transform normal cells into cancerous cells. Oncogenic viruses. 10% of cancers are virus-induced. The genetic material of oncogenic viruses become integrated into the host cell's DNA. So the virus genetic material integrates into the host chromosome and replicates, causing the host cells to go through a transformation. Transformed cells usually have chromosomal abnormalities, increased growth, and express T antigen on their surface. Cancer today. At least 6 viruses are thought to contribute to cancers. Hepatitis B virus, hepatitis C virus, human papillomavirus, Epstein-Barr virus, Kaposi sarcoma-associated herpes virus, human T lymphotrophic virus types 1 and 2. 80% of viral-associated cancers are cervical cancer, which is HPV, and liver cancer, which is HBV and HCV. So cervical cancer is one of the primary ones that we know, and so is liver cancer. So let's take a look at human papillomavirus or cervical cancer. HPV. HPV infections most common among sexually active adults and adolescents. Is detected through pap smears. We've seen a reduction in cervical cancer mortalities thanks to increased pap smears. There are over 100 different types of HPVs, low, medium, and high risk. Low risk types cause warts or papillomas, for example, genital warts. High risk types cause cervical, vulvar, vagina, anus, and penis cancers, for example, type 16 and 18. Taking a closer look at the papillomavirus structure and genome, of course it's a virus, so it's small, so 52 to about 55 nanometers in diameter. It's non-enveloped, it's icosahedral shaped, and it's a circular double-stranded DNA genome, so approximately 8,000 base pairs in length. Human papillomavirus wants to infect stratified basal epithelial cells. Number 1, because they are metabolically active and they support viral replication. Remember, viruses are obligate intracellular parasites. They have to live in a living cell in order for them to thrive. So here, if you covered this in 1151, you know the 5 different layers of the skin cells. The bottom layer is called the stratum basale, and the top layer is called the stratum corneum. By the time it reaches to the stratum corneum, they are dead cells. They are metabolically inactive, so the virus does not want to hang out there. Where does it want to hang out? In the stratum basale, where it's very active. So the virus grows here, and it grows and it grows. So by the time it slouches off here, okay, when these guys are slouching off, we're releasing the virons as well, okay? So you're shedding virons. So of course, there's a vaccine available. This was the second vaccine available to help prevent a cancer. So the first one was hepatitis B. Merck Gardasil became licensed by the FDA in 2006. It's a quadrivalent vaccine. So quad meaning 4. It's prepared from virus-like particles, a major capsid protein L1 of HPV type 6, 11, 16, and 18. These are your high-risk types to have known to cause cervical cancer. So, how did we make this vaccine? Well, here's a yeast cell, right? Saccharomyces cerevisiae. This is your yeast cell. And what you do is you take the HPV and you take a look at that circular DNA. Remember we said that it has a circular DNA, and within that DNA it has an L1 gene. We're going to take that L1 gene just the L1 gene that codes for these capsids, and stick it into the yeast cell's DNA. Now the yeast cell is going to begin to make those viral capsids. It's not going to make anything else, just those capsids. And when it assembles, it just assembles those empty viral capsids. Of course, no DNA is available. So you take these empty viral capsules and inject them into the host. And hopefully the host will elicit an immune response to 6, 11, 16, and 18. Okay? Of course, if they get type 5, then they're not going to be immune to it, of course. There's another one called Cervarix. And Cervarix is a bivalent vaccine, and that has 2 only. And I believe it's just 16 and 18. And then you can read more about HPV. Here's a link guiding you to more if you want to learn more about HPV and the vaccines. Prions. Prions are proteaceous infectious particles. They're proteins. You have a gene that exists in the host cell normally known as PRPC. This is your normal cellular prion protein on the cell surface. There's also something called PRPSC. PRPSC is an abnormal prion protein. It's also called a scrapie protein. When the host is infected with the scrapie protein, it transforms that normal cellular prion protein into the scrapie protein. The scrapie protein aggregates in your nerve cells, so it accumulates in the brain cells, and it forms plaques, basically holes in the brain. And this will eventually impair your function and later kill those cells. Of course, the best way to kill prions is dry heat. So just burning them will decontaminate them. So here is a picture showing you that normal cellular prion protein, and this is the scrapie protein. If you become infected with the scrapie protein, then it changes this normal cellular protein into a scrapie protein. Prions are inherited and transmissible by ingestion, transplant, and surgical instruments. So you have spongiform encephalopathies, so sheep scrapie, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, German Strauss-Schnittger syndrome, fatal familial insomnia, and mad cow disease. These diseases are usually transmitted via contact with the nerve tissue. So here are some examples of diseases caused by scrapie protein. The first one is scrapie in sheep, and the exact mechanism of transmission among sheep is unknown. Bovine spongiform encephalitis in cows, BSC, is possibly transmitted to cows from feed that was fortified with bone marrow from sheep. So you fed the sheep marrow, the bone marrow, to the cows, and the cows became infected with the scrapie protein, and they got BSC, aka mad cow disease. Diseases in humans. We know that in Kuro and the old New Guinea tribes, they still have cannibalistic rituals, which they come in contact with the brain matter. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Its known cases include contamination during corneal transplants or contamination from eating beef from cows with BSC. So if you ate a cow or beef from a cow that had mad cow disease, we don't call it mad cow in humans. It's called variant CJD. Here ends chapter 6.